here we go.
Three
So
of us
so
coming out
Troy
and siding with
has
him.
no land hand, and he's gonna
Okay, that's
mulligan.
rough. All
And
right.
I think he's gonna keep. He's got a decent six hand or six card land, or
Okay,
six
what's
cards in hand. He's got
six?
he's got a ninja, a ponder, a counterspell, and a gush.
Okay.
So he's gonna be a little bit slow, but Ponder's gonna help him out. Rom turn
Yeah.
one, lightning bolts his face.
So
So
how many points of burn does Rom have in hand?
um,
That's because that's the important thing in this matchup.
I have to have him adjust his hand, but it
Looks
looks
like
like he's got
six, seven,
a needle drop, a fire
11.
blast, and then a lightning bolt. So
Okay.
he's doing okay.
So he's at 11 points of damage plus a card, which could be three more. So 14.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. And Troy's got the counterspell in hand to help with that, and he knows what Rom's up to. I mean, when he goes turn one, just lightning bolt.
Yeah. It's not a
There's no
mystery.
mistaking it. Mhm. So, all right. We'll see how he plays this out. Looks like he's got pondering. Okay, looks like he doesn't want a Spire Golem. I think that's correct.
I think he just wants to find ways to survive at this point.
Yeah, so I think just going Cloud of Fairies into countering something. He doesn't know it's the Fire Blast, but it's the Fire Blast is going to be
100%,
his
yeah.
best line. The Ninja's a little bit awkward for him right now because it's not doing a ton.
Yeah, I think the main problem with Ninja is that he can't really afford to play it. But
Right.
if he doesn't, then he might just run out of cards at some point. Although that
Mhm.
ponder's kind of nice.
Yeah, no, the Ponder helps with that, but we'll see where he goes with this. The main problem is that that I was running into in our matchup was running out the Ninja when I didn't want to.
Yeah.
He's not a Cloud of Fairies. He's not a Snap. He doesn't untap your lands. You are tapping out when you play him.
Right.
So if you don't have Days in hand, you're probably giving up.
Yeah,
a
and it
turn
feels
where
like
they can do something.
such a blowout if they kill your ninja in response or something. Because
Right.
now you're left without a board or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. So Rom just
And that might-
passes, and then upkeep he lightning bolts.
Mhm.
That's a very good play, actually.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
what
a-
he's trying to he's trying to bait out that counterspell from Troy
Right.
to get him to tap out for the turn to get some tempo advantage.
Troy, very
Very
smart play there. He just let it happen, and he was rewarded with a cloud of fairies. That's pretty good for
Mm.
him.
Oh yeah, because lightning bolt, that's an average amount of points of burn. That's an average amount of life for one card in Rom's deck. That is not the most that he's going to be able to get. If he can find a curse, if he can find, he's already got the Fire Blast. So Troy's really hoping to save that counterspell for something a little bit more beefy, or at very worst, the same 3 points of burn that it would have been in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
good
know.
play on both sides
I'm
there,
not
I
sure
think.
about this sequencing here by Troy. I think he wanted to ponder first.
Before Cloud of Fairies?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. Well, he's gonna ponder now.
What's your reasoning there? I'm curious.
So if he ponders, he is opening himself up to or excuse me, by playing the fairies, he's
tapped
opening
out.
himself up to a burn spell. And in that case, there it wasn't punished. But I mean, if Rom had like a lightning
He could have
bolt and a
fire
fire
blasted.
blast, he could have just gone lightning bolt, fire blast, and he's down to
Yeah, that's
6
fair.
already, or he's down 6 points of life.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, even
And
if you try and
it
go
might not have been a bad call on Rom's part to just Fire Blast there.
right,
While he was able to, but you can't know that. So Rom's going to play it safe. He's going to try and wait until Troy's more tapped out, and I think he's going to have time to do it.
so he's gonna shard volley here. All right, so it looks like this will make Troy counter it.
You think?
He's going to.
He's got 2 cards in hand.
He's thinking about
Okay.
it.
I mean, it's not unreasonable.
It's a little bit awkward because that's his only counter spell in his hand, but he's got a gush.
Mm-hmm.
So
but
worst
he
comes
doesn't
to
have
worst.
Dazes in his list, so
Right. He has deprives and then counter spells. So really what he needs is another land here. Because then he'll be able to gush and
Mhm.
then play a land, or rather
Yeah.
play a land and then be able to gush to hit the counterspell.
Okay. By the way, do you know how to edit things in OBS?
Nope.
Nah, I won't worry about it. We can see what's in Rom's hand. Maybe if we're doing while we're doing sideboarding, we can mess with that. Okay, so he's like we just said,
Yeah,
he's just going for that while he's
tapped
tapped out.
out, quote unquote.
I
Yeah.
think that's perfectly fine.
Yes, I agree.
He's just looking for points of burn off the top. Um, he's got that mountain in hand in case he draws something.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's only at 16. I mean, Troy doesn't have
place.
him in a very threatening position.
Oh, not at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
and he has to bottom 2 islands with his Preordain.
Yeah. And, Mono Blue doesn't have life gain, so, Troy's at 6, he's at 6.
Yep, Troy's in an awkward position here.
Right.
He does still
Not
have
in a
that
great
gush.
spot,
Do you gush here to try and hit a land?
Um,
Or I guess you will hit a land. But yeah, he's going to.
and he hasn't played a land, and he's going to throw a Delver.
Yep, so he gushed, and he's going to play out
He's just
Delver
trying to
again.
race, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's all he can do, because
Does he know what's on top? No, he didn't, because
No.
he just gushed.
so Rom plays a
Yep.
Keldon Marauders.
Yeah,
Not-
so that's a guaranteed 2 damage.
Yeah, it's not great
I mean-
other than it giving 2 damage here.
And it's going to kill a Cloud of Fairies. Or 2 Cloud of Fairies. So,
No, just 1.
that gets 2 attacks in?
No, it gets 1.
No, it gets 1 attack in. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers.
All right, so
Yeah,
Troy
that's
has a
not doing a whole ton, but it is 2
snap.
points to burn. Well, he's not going to use it on the Marauders, I can tell you that much.
Right. But he can
Um,
use it on the Spellstar Sprite just in case.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely the correct play.
He's actually-
that's
that-
going to come up.
That
Gives him a
Spellstarter
lot
Sprite
more.
is insane right now.
Yeah, that's going to win him the game.
It counters
Um,
everything except for Fire Blast. But he has a deprive for that, so he's sitting
So-
pretty well right now.
Mhm. I'm not going to. Okay, when I say that's going to win him the game, I'm saying if he wins this game, that's why.
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to be that interaction because that's 1, 2, 3 turns that he has that he's not afraid of what Rom throws out there. So he's in a, let's say, not bad spot. He's not
Yeah.
in a good spot, but he's not awful. Okay,
All right, so you
obvious blocks.
Cloud of Fairies, yep, goes under chump duty.
Mm-hmm. No surprises there. So
And
curse the
Brom's
Pierce
going
Heart.
to try and get the curse out.
All right. I mean, you've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
Rom's
if he
on
draws more
a...
burn, he's not gonna be able to cast it. So Rom's got to just lay it out there, and Troy's got to counter this.
Yeah.
This is gonna lose him the game. There's no.
Looks like
question
he's.
about
It looks like he's thinking about it. It's not a slam dunk like we thought it might
Wait
be.
a minute. Is he trying to cast Spell Stutter?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Sorry, I meant deprive.
No.
I thought he had his mouse over deprive for a second.
Yeah. So now Troy can attack and put him on a 2-turn clock, and keep
Mhm.
deprive back.
As well as snap Spell Stutter. So yeah, he's in a. So he's got him on a 2-turn clock now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what Rom draws because it's going to come down to that. I think we're going to hear that a lot.
I don't think it
With
matters.
Rom's
What,
deck.
I don't think it matters what Rom draws at this point. I think he's just dead.
Fire Blast. Oh, he still is deprived.
Right.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. 2 Fire Blasts.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything that'll
Mm-mm.
get Rom out of this?
No.
Needle Drop? No.
No.
Yeah, I don't really think there's anything. So that's probably just going to be game. We'll see what he draws. Maybe he put something in his deck that he didn't tell us about. Okay, and then, so while we're doing that, can you go to... So if you go to OBS and you go to Edit Scene, you can change where Rom's hand is, and we can fix how that's being shown. Okay, there you go. So Troy's got game 1. Awesome. So maybe fix up the how things are going. It's a little bit wonky. You've also got my name over there on the right side. I'm not sure why. And your screen is in the background for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere Troy, in the other room, Troy is crying just knowing that his wonderful, wonderful overlay is being butchered.
Well,
Anyway,
it's kind of awkward to edit it now because he's sideboarding.
yeah. But by the way, when you want to resize it, you can hold down Alt on the edges of it, and it'll allow you to recrop it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk a little bit about the sideboarding.
Yeah.
So, we can actually see what Troy's sideboarding. We couldn't see what Rom's sideboarding, but focus on
So
Troy.
he's got dispels. Dispels
Mm-hmm.
or slam dunks.
Right. Curse of Chains does nothing.
I guess Mana
Stormbound
Leak comes
Geist
in.
does nothing. Yeah, it does. Which one is Curfew again? I'm blanking on that.
It's everyone. Both players return a creature to their hand.
That's right. That's not going to be useful.
No.
So yeah, basically the only thing he has is what he already brought in.
And
And
he
Ninja
cuts.
the D-Powers isn't doing anything.
Yeah, he
so-
cuts some number of creatures.
Actually, I think I would cut. Okay. I'm interested whether it might be correct to cut the Stormbound Geists rather than the Ninja the D-Powers. Anyway.
I think that's possible. Looks like he's cutting the Frostborn Weirds.
Yeah, they're not really doing anything in this matchup.
I feel like you want to keep in cheaper creatures,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing.
just because it allows you to play a
Snaps.
creature and keep up counter spells.
Right. That's going to be key here, is to be able to keep on your own pressure while still keeping it on the back foot. So you're going to want counterspells. You're going to want the cheapest creatures you can find. That's pretty much it.
So it looks like he
So
cut
what about?
He cut two ninjas. Okay, so he's putting the weirds back in. And he's cutting Bone Splitter. How do you feel about that?
That's not bad. I mean, weirds can block the Elden Marauders.
Mm-hmm.
Bone Splitter, it's going to increase his clock, but he has to spend mana to do that. I don't know. I think Bone Splitter probably does more work for him than weirds do, but that's very debatable. Just because it's only one mana that he's going to be able to afford to spend every once in a while.
Yeah, and looking at Rom's
So, I'm not
sideboard
sure.
real quick,
Yeah, let's go over to Rom because we don't have a ton of time.
I think we will see him put in Martyr of Ashes and Electricaries.
Electrickery? Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
And he
That's
doesn't.
going to be really useful.
I mean, Searing Blaze, I guess, takes care of creatures too, which is decent.
I thought he had those main board.
No.
Maybe I'm blind.
Oh, he has a
Okay.
couple. He has a couple main board. He has a couple on the
Gotcha.
sideboard too. All right, so it looks
Okay.
like we're underway here again.
Yeah, go ahead and get Rom's hand situated correctly.
Troy's mulliganing down a lot. He's going down to
that first hand
5.
didn't look very strong, so I don't blame him. Ooh, yeah. It's gonna be bad news for him. So, okay. So the hand he kept, if he can find some lands, isn't gonna be the worst, but it's pretty bad. Do we have Rom's hand? What happened here?
It's still stuck on his sideboarding for some reason.
Hmm. This is Skype, isn't it? He's streaming the wrong window or something.
No, I was just switching over. Rom might be, but I don't know.
Anyway, so technical difficulties. We'll figure these things out, but
So I feel like
open up Rom's screen. See if maybe he's not full screening his things there.
I can see Rom's screen, but I can't see his hand.
Right.
That's weird. Oh wait, here we go.
Is it coming up?
I can see his screen now.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So we'll get that back set up. I
All right, we
suspect
got his
Rom's gonna be
hand. We
okay.
got his hand.
All right, good. Okay, sorry about that,
It
everybody.
should update
We're
on
back
stream.
on.
There we go. Okay.
Cool, we're back.
So Rom kept a one lander as
One
well.
lander? That's fair. He can do that though.
Yeah, that's a
Although
decent
it's a one
hand.
lander with Pyroblast, Searing Blaze, ooh, and Shard Volley. That is a little bit.
Yeah. Now
And
Troy
Curse
gets
the
to
Pierce Heart.
play a Cloud of Fairies and keep up Counterspell. So
And Deprive, yeah.
that pre-ordering really got him out of the situation of a
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
mulligan.
So I don't think either of them are in that horrible spot here.
So-
I'll have to see how this plays out. Rom's
okay.
really hoping for a mountain into Searing Blaze. But at
Troy's
the same time,
Troy's gonna ponder here.
he's pondering.
I don't mind that play, but
Ooh.
I feel like he could have just done that next turn and been okay.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing next turn. I mean, he can hold up a counterspell this turn, or he can hold up a counterspell next turn, so... But he could... I guess he's looking for the land. Personally, I would want to hold a counterspell this turn, and then ponder for the land next turn so that you can play it,
Right.
and have the counterspell up, but...
And he knows
But I
he
don't
has
know.
2 counterspells, so it's not like he's gonna go to next turn and ponder looking for a counterspell. He can ponder with the comfort of knowing he's gonna have a counterspell.
Right. Right. So... Anyway, it worked out fine for him.
Yeah, he's not punished at all. But that might have more to do with Rom's hand than anything.
Yeah, it was due to Rom not drawing the land, because if Rom could have gone Mountain Searing Blaze right there, like this,
I mean-
like I presume he's about to.
Even Mountain Curse of the Pierce Heart last
There it
game
goes.
would have been huge.
Oh yeah, or this game.
But now, I mean,
So-
he can't comfortably do it with Mana Leak, Counterspell, and Deprive.
I don't know. I mean, he's got the Searing Blaze is going to get countered. I think. Yeah. Looks like he's countering it.
He's gonna-
The curses have to be countered, but Troy's going to have no gas on the table. Yeah, he did. Okay, he countered the Searing Blaze. I mean, all he's got is Clefairies. He's not going to be able to get that Spire Golem for a while, because he just offset his land drops. We'll see.
Well, Troy's going to slowly
there's-
peck him to death here.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just how this deck does. But I think we're just going to see a couple of turns of trying to land curses and trying to counter curses. So it's going to be pretty straightforward.
Troy pauses for a couple seconds to consider the curse.
Oh wait, I wonder if I want to counter this. Maybe he's just sort of looking at the artwork.
And he lets it resolve.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
huh.
Is there an argument
So
not to
there's-
counter it there? I don't know. I don't understand.
No.
I mean,
No, there
obviously,
isn't, unless he has Hydroblast. That's
But
the
he-
only thing I could think
he
of.
doesn't.
But even still, you'd rather use that to catch something else.
yeah.
I think, yeah. Because the thing is, if you let that resolve, you're essentially saying the game is not going to. Or sorry, I'm going to win the game in the next 4 turns. Because otherwise, that card is as good as any card in Rom's deck.
Right.
So I think that's going to put Rom in a real good position here.
And he suspends a Rift Bolt.
Yeah, he might need. He can't Needle Drop. What is he going to do? He's not going to Shard Volley.
He can Needle Drop on Troy's turn.
Ooh, I see what he's doing. Huh, that's interesting. Well, he can't Needle Drop unless he's take. Oh yeah, he can because Curse of the Pierce Heart. So yeah, Needle Drop. Wow. All right, that's really nice. Then the Rift Bolt's going to come down. One of the downsides of Rift Bolt is that it's predictable, so it's very susceptible to counter spells. That's actually a good thing for Rom right now because if it gets countered, he might be able to get his Curse of the Pierce Heart down. Is that a Guru land over there? Nifty.
So Troy lets Needle Drop resolve.
Which I think makes sense,
Yeah.
comparatively speaking. Because it represents, 1 to 5 points of damage, depending on whether or not Rom draws a land. So
So
got some variance.
I think
Okay, so-
Troy's just dead here, right?
dead. Let's see. He's got
because he has to
shard.
counter. He has to counter if he counters the Rift Bolt, then he's
Hmm.
got Lightning Bolt, Shard Volley, and then Fire Blast.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't counter this, it's the same damage. So yeah, I think he's just dead.
Yeah, because he can do. Well, no, he's got 9 damage. He'll still have 2 damage more on him. Okay, so now he's got
But Curse will take
lightning
care of the
bolt, shard
rest.
volley. Oh yeah, it will. I'm saying he'll be dead next turn as opposed to this turn. So if Rom acts now and just gets in his damage, yeah,
No, he's
absolutely.
dead on his upkeep.
Is he? No, because it's a 3-3-1. Oh, you're right. You're right. Right. Because yeah, it'll be 10 points of damage. Curse will do the 11.
And I mean, he just goes for it here, right? Like,
Oh yeah, he has to. This is textbook, and he's still got cards in hand. If this all goes pear shaped, so yeah, it looks like this one's gonna be Rom's.
I mean, I hate to blame it on the mulligan, but that mulligan really helped out Rom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can't. Oh yeah, somebody points out he can't Sharp Volley and Fire Blast. There you go.
Oh,
That's the
right.
problem.
Yeah.
So apologies to the viewers. This is why we can't call ourselves Super League. We call ourselves the Pauper Minor League. But I mean, let's see, Curse is going to get a point of damage. Yeah. So that makes things a little bit better
Yeah.
for Troy, but it's 2 curses on the table. He's got Ram on a 4-turn clock, unless he plays something else, which he has nothing else. I mean, he's got counter spells that are going to be
But I mean, Rom
used.
has all spells, so
Hmm. So we'll see. I think Ram really wants to draw some land, but he's probably just going to hang out and then incinerate on Troy's upkeep, is my guess. We'll see what he actually does.
yeah, I think you're
Okay.
right. He drew an
So,
Electrickery,
okay.
which isn't great in this spot.
No, I mean, it's saving 2 points of damage. I think he'd rather just try and do damage to the face,
Yeah.
but we'll see. But he goes for it. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that cuts Troy's clock from. I mean, obviously it didn't happen.
In half.
That cuts Troy's clock, yeah, in half, and that would have given Rom enough time to win just with Curse of the Pierced Hearts alone. That one play would have made the game there, given no other plays from either side.
It's a little bit
And
strange
given
just because he had to tap out for it. But I think it was a card play.
Electrickery,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just trying to draw out counters as well. And Electrickery is something that isn't burn, but is going to get countered. So he can keep his burn in hand and still take actions with his hand.
So
Once again, I
now
think,
he's back in a pretty good position,
yeah,
and I think
but he's on a 2-turn clock as well.
I mean, if Rom goes to his upkeep and lightning bolts and
And
incinerates
incinerates.
and then fire blasts, I think he should be good.
Right. Troy can counter 2 of those, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
here he
he's
goes.
he's
So
basically got a counter here.
lightning bolt gonna eat the counter.
Because it is possible that Troy slow rolls it and waits for the last point of burn to counter.
I mean, with curse out, you
Even
can't.
still, I thought Curse just resolved already.
Well, with the curse
Yeah,
is
Curse
out, you
already
can't
resolved.
let any burn resolve.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, he can't let it get down to 2.
So Rom goes for the shard volley,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, and
that'll
then he's
get
gonna go
countered.
for. Yeah.
And then I
I
think we'll
think
see
he's.
him fire blast here, right?
Yeah, we're gonna see him fire last time. I mean, Troy's got no cards in hand, so that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Well played on Rom's part. That's really all there is to it. I don't
If he
know
kept
that.
if he kept a bone splitter in, he could win.
Yeah,
I don't remember if he did. I think he took those out. Yeah.
No, I think he did leave him in. Um, so I presume Rom's just going to blast here, but no. Okay.
Hmm.
That is... Wow.
That seems incorrect to me.
Oh,
No.
he
Yeah,
can
it
always
does, right?
incinerate.
I guess, but
I mean, it is incorrect, but I'm trying to
no.
think if there's a line.
No, I think that is correct because no matter what, it still works.
Yeah,
Because
and
Troy's
this
going
way
to
he gets
draw
to
at
keep his
most one counter spell.
Right. Okay.
So, yep. On to game 3, I guess.
There it is. Yep. So yeah, the Curse of the Pierced Heart definitely making a big showing there. And
That was a huge mistake letting it resolve game 1.
absolutely, yeah.
I don't
we'll
understand it.
see. I think he just underestimated the impact of it. We'll see. We'll see how he plays in game 3. Maybe he'll play a little bit differently now that he's seen how it goes.
All right, so Troy's cutting the Stormbound Geist and putting Bone Splitters back in. I think that's a smart play
Yeah.
in terms of mana efficiency and.
Oh yes, Stormbound Geist is just wrong in
a matchup where they're not killing your creatures.
Jahi, I'm butchering somebody's name in chat, but it's Jahi Koi or Jahi Koi, says, Fire Blasting on upkeep, leaving you with 0 lands in play, gets wrecked by a top deck of Echoing Truth. And that's absolutely right. I don't know if Troy's running those out of the sideboard, but...
He's not running them out of the sideboard, but I don't know if Rom can make that assumption that he's not.
No, he absolutely can't. And yeah, that's a completely valid point. And Rom played correctly in that situation.
Not many lists are running Echoing Decay, I don't think.
Echoing Truth.
Echoing
That's the
Truth, I'm
bounce.
sorry, yes.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
shame,
running
too.
it
It's a
on
really
sideboard.
good spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got a lot of applications, a lot of matchups. Unfortunately, not mono black, but
Yeah.
fortunately, I've already got past that one.
So Troy sees Island and
see how we go.
Spire Golem off of his Preordain.
Mm.
It's hard to put an Island on the
Ooh.
bottom when you only have 2 lands at the moment. But I don't think he keeps Spire Golem.
Don't want.
Yeah.
But I can see him doing either with the Island, because you've got a handful of 2 mana things. If he gets Ninja rolling around, getting back Spell Stutter Sprite, then yeah, okay, they both go bottom.
And then he drew a Gush. Not ideal, but...
Okay, that's not bad.
And
Okay,
Rom
Riftbolt
goes
comes
turn
down.
1, suspend Riftbolt.
And we're going to see a Spell Stutter Sprite coming right down on top of that. And I think then we'll see... I don't know if Troy's going to hold off on the snap or if he's going to use Ninja the D powers and leave himself open for turn.
Does Sprite
That'll
work
be
like that?
interesting to see. Work like what? Oh, I'm sorry.
Because
yeah,
Riftbolt has a
no.
mana cost
No.
of 3.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing over here.
Although he double spell stutter Sprite is pretty good against burn.
And just a quick aside for people who don't understand what I messed up. Riftbolt has a converted mana cost of 3. Spell Stutter Sprite counters target spell with converted mana cost less than the number of fairies you control. Which would be 1 when you play it, or more if you play Cloud of Fairies as beforehand. Or
I
if you
guess
play multiple
so.
Spell
Troy doesn't
Sprites.
know this either because it looks like he's going for the Sprite
Okay.
in
yeah, he might
response.
just-
No, okay. I think he realized.
Okay, good. He's probably listening in right now.
It's not my
listening
fault.
to
I have a
reason.
loud voice.
Anyway, we'll see.
Okay, so all right. So it looks like he's gonna get it here. He's gonna cast
Yeah.
it in response to the Lava Spike.
Yeah, and then he's got another Spade in hand, so he's just going to sit around,
Pretty good
playing them
value.
out all day.
Yeah.
And so this game is going pretty good for Troy. We got Needle Drop, but
Yeah, does its
nothing
job.
too fancy. Yeah. This whole exchange is going to should end up in Troy's favor. We'll see how Rom plays to try and mitigate that. But he's definitely working himself into a bad situation. Because I expect we're going to see him... no, he's probably going to cycle the cave. We'll see. Maybe Curse of the Pierced Heart, or if he draws a land, then Scalding Tarn. or sorry, Searing Blaze.
That card is not
Scald-
legal in this format, friend.
You're not running Scalding Tarn in your Pauper decks? Clearly doing it wrong. Really helps with your deck thinning. Okay, now we might see the Searing Blaze into Lightning Bolt, or we might just Curse the Pierced Heart. Okay, he's going to get blown out here, because another
Yeah.
Spell Starter Sprite just gets rid of that, and then...
No,
Yeah.
Rom should blow out Troy
gonna
if he
blow
went for another Sprite.
Which he probably will. So he's going to lay that out.
He's gonna
He's going to get bolted.
He's considering his options. He's thought about Sprite, Counterspell, and Snap all at the same moment. So he's gonna
Snap is interesting.
He's gonna snap the Sprite, but that won't.
Right.
Searing
won't
Blaze will
negate
still
the
deal damage.
I guess he's just trying to preserve his Sprite, or maybe he doesn't realize that.
He
I'm not sure.
can counter it with Counterspell, but
I don't think he wants to.
no, not at all.
Yeah. So. Okay, and then Rom's just going to bolt for value, for damage, which is fair. So that's got to try a little bit lower than we might have pegged him at.
So I think Rom was pretty happy with that exchange.
Yeah.
He resolved all the
that
spells he
doesn't feel too
wanted,
bad. For damage.
right?
Yeah.
And now Troy's kind of in a tricky part with only 2 lands out.
Right. I mean, he's got... We can see his hand. He's looking pretty good. He's got a counter spell. He's got spells to the Sprite, so...
Yeah, he's just got to
it's going
pass.
okay. Oh, absolutely. He's just going to wait and then spell stutter. He's going to react to whatever Rom
Alright, so
does,
here comes a
that's going to be...
Curse,
counter.
and he knows to counter it this time.
Yeah. Yep, there it is.
So Rom can
What else we have?
resolve something if he
what?
has something.
He has electric
That's
free,
right.
and that's it.
So he'll probably just
And
cycle into
He
turn.
can cycle his cave, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do.
Dispel is not the worst draw there.
For Troy?
Yeah.
The thing is, that doesn't actually do anything for him right now because he's only sitting at 2 lands. So he's still reactive, but Dispel puts him in a really good situation where he can just counter most anything that Rom plays if Spell Stutter can't get it.
Another curse would
The
be
only thing
huge
is-
here.
Right, I was about to say, the only thing he's vulnerable to is another curse, and it looks like Rom didn't find it, so...
Heck, even a Keldon
So,
Marauders
that's
would have been
good.
fine there.
Yeah.
So Troy's gonna gush here,
Ooh.
end step. That's
Okay.
really risky.
I see what he's doing there. So essentially he's just saying, look, I've got this Dispel, and he's just laying out a Spell Stutter, just for having a thing in play.
I guess so. If you're Rom, do you try and kill this? Or do you try and wait
Yeah.
to get more value?
I mean, well, I guess, yeah, you want to wait until he tries to use it to counter something,
Right.
so you can get more value that way. And he's got the lands
Yeah.
that he's going to be able to do that.
He's at a really painful 4 lands.
Yeah, but Troy is sitting at a really awkward spot of having too many cards.
I'm not sure I agree with that gush.
I don't think I do either. Is he just going to lay out Delver here, or is he going to discard a Ninja, or... I don't know, does he want to hold
Does he hold up
up?
Dispel?
Is that
Yeah,
the
I don't
idea?
know.
Because I presume that was the idea at the beginning of it, but...
Main phase gush.
discarding.
I think I'm okay with main phase gush, because then you can land and hold
You
up
can use-
Dispel.
Well, then he can, yeah, use the mana for things as well. Because he
Right.
used the mana to play Spell Stutter Sprite.
So he's just going to play a Delver here and leave himself open.
Alright.
Interesting.
And he can't manipulate the top of his deck, so...
No.
This gives Rom an opening.
See if he can draw
Rom doesn't-
something.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Oh yeah, he's electricering.
Wow. That's pretty good here.
Super value.
Yeah.
Yeah. About as good as it gets.
And Troy has to discard.
Yeah.
Pitches a
Yeah,
ninja.
Right, that's just not doing anything.
No.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
Is super
This
punished.
is. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I can't
Well,
think
that's
of
the
a.
thing, even the Dispel, even if he had the Dispel,
It wouldn't have
be
done
able to deal
anything,
with that.
right? And he draws the counter
Wow.
spell.
Yeah. And the other thing is, Rom would have been able to play Curse of the Pierced Heart, and when it got countered with spell stutter,
He
presumably,
would have had the
he could
electricity for it,
electricity.
right?
So yeah, Rom was in a really solid spot there, surprisingly.
Yeah, great position here for
Um,
Rom.
yeah, that's impressive.
And just on a side note here, I think this is where it's important to note why Hydroblast is so important for Mono Blue.
Yes.
It allows
Yeah.
you to deal with things like Curse of the Pierced Heart.
Hmm. Yeah, because right now Troy's deck has what, 0 ways to interact with that card once it hits the
Correct.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he can't conceivably race at this point.
no. I mean, his best case has him just drawing islands and laying down Spire Golems, and that's about it, with 0 interaction.
So he's going to go Sprite here. That's a rough Sprite, actually. I mean, if Rom had anything in hand.
Yeah, but he needs to do it. That's the problem, is that he's in a position where he needs to lay out dudes on the board and start putting some pressure on Rom, because he's got so much pressure on himself.
I mean, he can't even do anything right now. Like, you can't gush.
Mm-hmm.
He just has to hold up counter spells.
Yeah. So, Troy's got to deal with that. Is he going to maybe
He can't even dispel.
snap spell stutter? What's he going to do here?
Ugh.
Yeah, he can't dispel. Just counter it.
Yeah, he has to. And if Rom draws anything, I mean, it could be game over right here.
Yeah. See what he gets.
Incinerate the face. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna put a lot of
Cuts
pressure
the
in.
clock down.
Lenny in chat says Hydroblast is pretty important against gobs too. Oh, goblins, yeah.
Goblins
Absolutely.
had a resurgence recently.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, I imagine that's a huge card to
Okay,
have for
so-
goblins.
Oh yeah.
It man.
It just busts the matchup wide open. I would think. Then Echoing Truth helps there too.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
I think Troy just attacks here and passes. I mean,
that's all he can do.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. If Rom really turned this one around, it was just based on that one turn.
Troy had had an awkward keep too,
Yeah,
right?
opening. Yeah, well, he had 2 lands, and he had used to react.
He did. He bought him that preordain or that island,
Yes.
which might have been the turning point because he drew a gush instead.
Yeah. Okay. Looks
Alright,
like
so-
we're seeing the snap for spell stutter.
I think that's the correct play here.
Oh yeah, and he's still got. I mean, he's got dispel. Not that he's gonna be able to do anything with it. But the clock's ticking, so he's really just got to lay out the. I don't even know. I know he's digging, but I don't know what he's digging for. A land, so he can land a Spire Golem, which he could just cast. Is he looking for something out of his sideboard that we didn't notice?
He is playing boomerangs, which would
Okay.
Yeah, that's
There it
game.
goes.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Boomerang. Boomerang would be helpful there. Okay, well, that's our first round, and looks like Ram and I are both 1-0, and Jordan and Troy will be 0-1 for the first week.